was a tough time for both of us. Afterward, someone at her work began providing her with extra emotional support, and they started going for walks every day at lunch. Welcome to the Hollowed Halls of Magic's Monologue. I'm Magic, your creator of personal growth and the sage keeper of the keys to today's tome of wisdom and knowledge. Today's video: my girlfriend, 36 female, cheats with a male, 56, at her work and in the park, our 5-year relationship. But before embarking on an expedition to knowledge and many people's abysmal life choices, I thank you for the thumbs up you've given me, the subscribe, and the smacking of the bell to be instantly notified of new videos. Let's begin the journey. And I want to thank Mary, one of my super fans and part of the 14% of female viewers who watch my channel. I'm sure many of you have heard the two refrains, once a cheater, always a cheater, and she was never yours. It was just your turn. Many of you have been indoctrinated into the gynocentric belief and are clueless about female nature, and that you can't come back from certain forms of betrayal. This is the story of a guy who did a few things wrong so you can learn how to do something right if and when it becomes your turn. Just remember, as men, we often have to have some sense slapped into us because sometimes we can be a bit thick in the head.
Why did you do that?
Sometimes you have to slap them in the face just to get their attention.
He writes, I've read so many stories like this, and I wanted to share my own experience from last year. A year ago, we tried for a baby, but suffered a miscarriage 3 months in. It was a tough time for us. Well, my brother, I'm truly sorry this happened to you, and I can grasp why it would be a tough time. When a couple experiences a miscarriage, both partners grieve. They often do so in different ways. Research shows that men and women process grief differently due to emotional, sociological, and biological factors. Women, for example, tend to express their emotions more openly, seek support from friends and family, and talk about their feelings. Men, on the other hand, are more likely to internalize their grief, focusing on being strong for their partner and dealing with their emotions privately. A woman may expect her partner to express his grief in the same way, through open conversation and emotional expression. If he doesn't, she might misinterpret his response as indifferent or lack of care. In reality, he may be grieving deeply but showing it in a less visible ways. Studies suggest that these differences in grieving can lead to misunderstandings and strained relationships. One study found that couples who experience a miscarriage have a 22% higher risk of breaking up within 5 years compared to those who don't. Afterward, someone at her work began providing her with extra emotional support, and they started going for walks every day at lunch. A few months later, I noticed she was becoming increasingly difficult, short-tempered, and always angry with me, even though I was there for her, paid for everything, and even took her on expensive holidays. Slap to the back of the head. I know this is counterintuitive. However, when a woman pulls away, you don't reward it with more attention and gifts. If anything, guys, you want to pull back and observe her behavior. Women don't just pull away for no reason. This is where you start paying attention to what she says and focus on what she's doing. Is she guarding her phone? Is she going out more? Is she working late more? In short, what behavior patterns have changed? If you pull back and she doesn't notice, that screams you have a problem. If she's not giving it to you in the bedroom, then chances are she's getting it somewhere else. This is where you start looking for opportunities to gather evidence. After confronting her, she admitted to having feelings for this man and that they had kissed. Slap to the back of the head. I have a very different take on this. You don't confront until you have evidence. There is a little statistic which I think applies here. 100% of all cheaters are liars. In situations like this, act like a lawyer and never ask a question you don't already know the answer to. I read later in her phone and discovered she was messaging him even when we were on holiday, using terms like twin flames and other loving words, which was sickening. I was devastated, but we decided to give it another chance as long as she cut all ties with him. Slap to the back of the head. Once a woman cheats on you, it's over. Once a cheater, always a cheater. Congratulations. You have taught her that when she gets caught again, all she has to do is cry, beg, make promises, and any other manipulation tactic because she now sees you as weak. Grasp this concept. Women do not respect weak men, and they will punish you for it. She was happy about our reset, and the relationship was good for a while. Let me take a moment to point something out. If you're going to be foolish enough to do what this guy is doing, then leverage her begging and pleading. In this case, he should have seen a family law solicitor, since obviously this is from the UK, and gotten a post-nuptial agreement with an infidelity clause with some serious teeth in it to protect himself and his assets. Remember, he had proof, and that proof should have been on file at the solicitor. The same concept applies here in the US as well. I would have kicked her to the curb, but if after doing the "I'll do anything, baby, please don't leave me," we would have been headed to a law office for a very favorable post-nup. 6 months passed, and I noticed she was being horrible to me again. I told her I didn't think things were working and that we should break up. A week later, she confessed that she had tried to give him up, but they had slept together multiple times in the factory and in the park where they went for walks, and that they had performed oral on each other. Slap to the back of the head. Are we learning here, guys? This is why you never take them back, and why you also control the narrative to friends and family, so that when it inevitably blows up, she can't make you out to be the bad guy and victimize herself. Much of this happened while I was abroad for work. I left the house that night and moved out 2 weeks later. She has been begging for me to come back since. The man, the AP, essentially love-bombed her at a time when she was at her weakest. Slap to the back of the head. No. You are making excuses for her. This is on her. She made a series of choices. The devil didn't make her do it. She did. It's thinking like this, which is why you are in this situation. To her, you're just a nice guy who would never dream of putting her in her place. Which is why I let it go the first time. He also is married with children, not to be confused with the TV show. I would like to know if anyone has gone through something similar. Right. Well, my brother, your situation is all too common, and you have made the common mistake of being her enabler. At this point, you need to kick her to the curb. And had you had a postnup in place from the last time she cheated, you could have walked away with less of a financial hit. Of course, if it was my postnup agreement, I would have gone with her getting only what she brought into the marriage and no support. But hey, that's just me. In the comments section below, share your thoughts, advice, or what you would have done. If you found value in this video, then help a brother out by doing 3 things. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe, hit that bell, and share this with at least 3 friends who need to learn from this channel. Confession is good for the soul and this channel. Send me your personal relationship stories to share, or if you see an article online you think I should cover, send the link to stories@magicsmonologue.com. If you have a moment, subscribe to my Locals, Rumble, X, Getter, or Gab for future politically incorrect content, which this platform, being YouTube, would definitely not appreciate. Through this, you're leading by example, encouraging other men to rise higher, and ensuring you live a life of passion, purpose, and prosperity. If you're on YouTube and want another video like this one, then click here and watch Cheating in Vegas, the Groom's Worst Fear. Otherwise, if you can't wait for my next new video, then click on one of these right now and watch another. Know the risks, play the game wisely, and I'll see you in the winner's circle.